Are you currently living in the Big Apple in one of its 5 boroughs? Maybe outside New York City on Long Island? Or maybe you have a home in Albany, Buffalo, or Syracuse, New York. If you are thinking about making that big move from New York to Georgia, then you've come to the right place. Today, we're discussing moving from New York to Georgia and the cost of living differences. Let's do it. Hey, welcome back. I'm Jonathan McCoy with Keller Williams Realty Chattahoochee North, and I am Atlanta's Real McCoy. Having lived in Atlanta in the metro area for my entire life, which is 41 years, I know a thing or two about the area. Today, we dive into a brief discussion on what changes you will see when living in Georgia instead of New York, and we will focus in on cost of living differences between Atlanta, Georgia, and different cities in New York, as well as some of the different boroughs in New York City. So to start with, if you are moving here to Atlanta, you will notice that most people have cars and need cards to get around. Unlike New York City, where the mass transit can get you there quickly, Atlanta's mass transit system, known as MARTA, is not as good and doesn't really get you to as many places that you want to go, or at least it doesn't get you there quickly. While we do have a MARTA train that runs from north to south and east to west in Atlanta, there are plenty of areas that are not served. Another thing that you will notice about Atlanta, and the reason why that the mass transit isn't so hot, is that Atlanta really is spread out. Unlike New York, which is really concentrated, Atlanta sprawls for about 45 miles in every direction. So when you come to Atlanta, someone who lives maybe 30 miles away in the city of like Lawrenceville will likely still tell people that they live in Atlanta. This sprawl is one of the reasons why Atlanta is one of the worst cities in the US for traffic and commute times to and from work. Another thing to get used to is the heat and humidity. For about 4 months out of the year, 2 of those months in particular, we will get very hot and humid. July and August can get downright disgusting. So you're going to have to get used to it and make sure that your home air conditioning system is up to good working standard. But it's not all bad. Our winters here are very mild compared to New York standards, and we have a lot of green spaces. Everywhere you turn in Atlanta, in the metro area, there is some kind of park or greenway to go to. If you love outdoor activities, you will have plenty to choose from here. And most of those activities can be done 9 to 10 months out of the year. And well, let's face it, if you are used to New York winters, you can probably do your outdoor activities for all 12 months out of the year. If you want to see some more reasons of why you will love living in Atlanta, then check out this video I did here. Or maybe you want some reasons why you'll hate living in Atlanta. I did a quick video about that right here as well. Now, on to cost of living. Overall, New York is a much more expensive place to live than Georgia. There are some exceptions that we will talk about, but for the most part, it's cheaper here. Today, our focus will go to 3 New York boroughs, which are Queens, Manhattan, and Brooklyn, along with Albany, Buffalo, and Syracuse, and a little bit of info about Long Island as well via a special request. The average cost of a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in Atlanta, Georgia will run you around $365,000. In comparison, Queens, Manhattan, Brooklyn, and Long Island all cost significantly more. Queens comes in around $840,000. Manhattan comes in at a whopping $2.2 million, Brooklyn at $1.3 million, and Long Island prices will run you about $623,000. These homes in Albany cost around $422,000, and Buffalo around $380,000, and the only place discussed here today where housing prices cost a little less is Syracuse, where your 3-bedroom homes come to around $253,000. When looking up other costs of living, I have found that Queens, Manhattan, and Brooklyn food costs run about 25% higher than they do here in Atlanta. entertainment costs about 16% higher, and healthcare costs run about 2% lower. If we are looking at Albany, we see that food is about 10% higher and transportation and healthcare costs are 7% lower than Atlanta. Entertainment runs about 2% lower. For Buffalo and Syracuse, food, transportation, entertainment, and healthcare all run lower than what we see here in Atlanta. We'll now run a scenario in which we estimate a yearly household income and compare it to what you would need to make if you move to Atlanta to maintain your same standard of living. Let us look at a family income of $150,000 a year. If you're moving here from Queens, you would only need to make $103,000 here a year to maintain your same standard of living. Moving from Manhattan, you'd only need to make $61,000 here in Atlanta. From Brooklyn, you would need to make $85,000, and from Long Island, you would need to make $110,000. Now, if you're moving here from Albany, New York, you wouldn't have that much of a difference. Here you would have to make around $145,000 to maintain your same standard of living. The only two cities we talk about today where you would need to make more are Buffalo and Syracuse. Moving here from Buffalo, you would need to raise your yearly income to $162,000, and from Syracuse, you would need to make around $165,000 to maintain that same standard of living. If you are making that move from New York to Atlanta, Georgia, then let me know. I get contacted from people just like you constantly about making that move to Atlanta. If you are one of those movers, then send me an email, give me a call, shoot me a text. I'd love to talk with you more about your unique situation and see how we can make that big decision move down to Atlanta as informative and easy as possible. And if you like this video, hit that thumbs up button, click on the subscription button, and hit the notification bell. I post videos just like this one every Thursday about living, working, playing, and breathing all things Atlanta, Georgia, and the metro Atlanta area. I also love teaching people just like you how to successfully navigate through the process of buying and selling real estate. And one more thing here before we go. I've put a link below to my Atlanta relocation guide. So it's free. Click on it below if you'd like. Thanks, and I will see you next time.